Sorry about that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please go ahead and put in the comment section where you're watching from. Please go ahead and put where you're watching from so I can know where my viewers are watching this live from. I don't know why I feel different, like it's nighttime, and I'm live. But yes, go ahead and put in the comment section where you're watching from. And if you know somebody who's interested in getting a teaching license in the United States and might need this video or this information, go ahead and share this link with them so they too can get this information. All right, so the topic for tonight is how to get a teaching license in the United States. All right, now without any further ado, we're not going to be long. I want to welcome you to our guide on how to get a teaching license in the United States. Whether you're considering a career change, you're studying, you're in college, you don't have to be an international teacher. I'm talking like anybody who's interested in getting a teaching license in the United States, even if you're an American, there's something in this life for you. All right, so becoming a licensed teacher is a important step towards shaping your future uh, education. So you definitely know if you want to go into the education setting in the United States, you're going to need a license. Welcome, Diane Ricketts vlog, guys. Welcome. All right, so before we dive into the specifics, let's understand why teachers need a license to teach in the United States. All right, each state sets their own requirements for teachers to be highly qualified and trained. And so having a teaching license ensure that educators meet certain standards as well as they have the knowledge and competency before they step into a classroom. Now, I heard somebody say, I don't know what social media platform I was watching, and I heard somebody say most of the teachers in the classrooms in the US are really long term subs. And that is true because if you don't have a teaching license and you're teaching in the United States, then you're not really a certified teacher, you're a long term sub. And yes, if you are going to say, but can that really happen? Yes, it can happen, but you must be an American for this to happen. Okay, so if you're an American and you are interested in teaching, as I mentioned earlier, there's something in this life for you. You can still get your teaching license. If you're in the classroom and you're not licensed, you can get that information as well. So I see Mr. Mimic says, I have a teaching license from the Georgia Professional Standards and want to be helped to get a school in Georgia. I'm watching from Ghana. Hey, Mr. Mimic, and I'm your number one fan. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Mimic, for being my number one fan. Now you're my number one viewer. All right. So, Dr. Mimic, keep watching. All right. So they want to make sure that everybody that's entering the classroom is highly qualified and they know what they're about. You can still get a teaching job in the United States, as I mentioned earlier, if you're an American with a bachelor's degree that's not in education. That's when we're gonna talk about the alternative route to teaching. So let's not race ahead of ourselves. Let's take it step by step and just go from here. All right, so let's go straight into the requirements. What are the requirements to get a teaching license in the United States? All right, the first thing, without any question, hey Shondell from Guyana, I did ask that guys put in the comment section where you're watching from. Thanks for watching, Shondell. All right, so one of the first requirements that you're going to need to get a license in the United States is a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. Now, this institution doesn't have to be an institution in the United States. It just has to be an institution and it is accredited wherever it is located. For example, if you're living in Jamaica and you have a bachelor's degree, the institution that you got your bachelor's degree from should be accredited. Okay. And likewise, if you're in Guyana or Ghana, if your degree that you got from your country, it should be accredited. So you definitely need that. You need to complete a teacher preparation program, and this must include student teaching. Not must, but they like to see that you do some form of student teaching while you study your teacher preparation program. Also, hey, Morrison from Ghana. Also, they want to see passing scores. They want to see passing scores on a state specific exam, such as the praxis, or as Dr. Mimic says, his license is from Georgia. Georgia does the GACE exam. So every state has their own licensure exam. So you'd have to know what exam is it that your state require. Hey, Sexy Steph on TikTok. Thanks for joining. So, yes, so the first requirement, a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. You should have your teacher preparation program from your home country as well as some student teaching experience, passing scores, whether it's praxis, GACE, whatever, as well as you should have a criminal background check. Yes, when you apply for your license, they will ask for a criminal background check. That can be done in your home country and uploaded to their portal. All right. And the next thing that you're going to need to apply for your teaching license is sometimes they like to ask for coursework in education or a master's degree. All right. So it's not mandatory for you to have a master's degree because the minimum requirement to teach in the United States is a bachelor's degree. All right. Good. So once you have met these requirements, it's time to apply for your teaching license. I applied for Savannah and I'm wondering if I am successful, would I need a teaching license before I get to the US, or do they give you up to a year to get the license? You're gonna need that license. Can Morgan, let me say Morgan, you're gonna need a license, but if you get the job offer, they will provide with to you details on how to go about starting the process for your license. But very good question. All right. So once you put all these documents together, but as Dr. Mimic just said, Morgan, he already has his license. So that's something you can work on without even actually getting that job offer. And that is what I'm trying to promote in these series of videos that I will be doing. I should mention earlier that I did do a video before this. I think it was last Friday that says which state you need a teaching license in, and you were to comment the state in the comment section that you needed that teaching license in, and I will be showing you step by step how to get or go about these licensure. All right, so it will be a series of videos for those who are watching that will be coming on about the state's requirement for teaching license. Some of the states that people commented on that video were Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Maryland, South Carolina, Virginia, Massachusetts, Georgia, DC, Washington. They had California, Ohio, and I will be going through these that they had commented and see the ones that most people requested and start from there. And so you can be on the lookout for individual videos on specific states and how to get a teaching license in that state. All right. So if you did not see that video, I'll leave that link in the comment section below on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Hey, Georgia from Jamaica, Marlene from Jamaica, thanks for watching. Oh, Morgan, you're also watching from Jamaica. Thanks for watching, guys. So if you did not watch that first video that says which state you need a teaching license in, you need to hop on onto the YouTube. Even if you go into this link now that you're watching on this live, I did put the link for that video. It's the first video that says under other videos, it would tell you which state you need a license in. You can put the state that you're interested in, and we will look at that individually. All right, so we talk about the requirements and we talk about now that you have all these things you need to apply. Now, submitting your application for your license, it is a multi-step process. And sometimes it can be frustrating. It can be where you're back and forth with the State Department that you are working with, but it is worth it, guys. I got my Georgia teaching license even before I even thought about working in Georgia. Okay, so it is worth it. And what you should know is that some of the license are, or should I say, can be reciprocated, meaning if you have a license in South Carolina, you can apply to get a license in Georgia using that South Carolina license. And that's what they call reciprocation, because now you're using that qualification from one state to get a license in a next state. Some states do that, not all. All right. So once you get all your documents together, the next thing is to do is to find the state department for the state that you are interested in. For example, if you're interested in South Carolina, you will find the Department of State, the Department of Education in South Carolina. So not the Department of State only, the Department of Education, sorry, in South Carolina, or the body that governs licensure in the state. Like, for example, Dr. Mimic just said in Georgia, he applied to the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. That's the body that sponsors license in Georgia. So every state has a body that takes care of their teaching license for teachers. All right. So once you do that research and you know which Department of Education or which entity is looking after teaching license for your exam, then you're going to need to start putting these things together, your transcript, your exam scores, and other required documentation that they may need. And you will always find this information on their website. So, for example, if you go right now on the Department of Education for South Carolina, you will find an area for teaching license, or sometimes they call it teaching certificate. And under that area, they will provide with you the list of items you need and how you apply for this license. All right. So be sure to check the specific requirements for your state, as they can vary. Every state might not ask you for the same documents. All right. Can you apply for a teaching license while on a J1 visiting? Definitely. Yes. Ace that chemistry. You can definitely do that. You want to start looking about your teaching license before you actually end your J1 program. Even if you don't get the license in hand, you want to make sure you complete, especially what I mentioned earlier when I talk about the requirements. You need to at least pass the state exam that the state requires to get a teaching license. As long as you have that, you can always start the process. And I would say yes, you can start the process with the J1, because sometimes it takes a while for you to actually get that license. Okay. All right. So now that you have your bachelor's degree and you put your information in after you follow the steps on their website, you would, in most definitely, in many cases, you have to create an account on the Department of Education website. You create an account, you are basically given or create your own login, so you can always go back in. They will communicate with you now to say um, this what step they're at and if they need additional documents. What most states do also is they tell you on their website which date they're working on. And what I mean by this is, for example, when you start your application process for your license, maybe in South Carolina or Georgia, you might put your application in, which is the 25th of April. But you will see that they are currently working on applications that came in the 1st of April. So, they have not gotten to your application as yet. So, you see what I mean? It's that chemistry. You can put that application in because it's going to take some time, especially if it's in this season now when everybody's trying to get a license for the new school year. Okay, so I know for Georgia, definitely they tell you, and I know for California as well, they definitely tell you which dates they're working on, the applications that came in, what dates they're working on that date. So, if they're working on April 1st and you put your application in April 24, they're going to take some time to work themselves down to April 24, but they are going to get to you. When they get to you, they will provide a response if needs be. If they need additional information, they will ask you for that. They usually, when they ask you for additional items, they will give you like 60 days to turn that item in. And some states, if that 60 days pass and you don't turn that item in, what they do is like close out your application. You would have lost your application fee if you had paid some. And if you want to, still get that license, you have to start the process all over again. Approximately how long does it take to complete the process and get the license? As I mentioned earlier, Marlene, it's going to be dependent on the time that you apply. Like, in October, November, when it's not so needy, when people are already settled in their job, if you apply in that time, it might not take a long time. I cannot give you a specific time frame, but I know it can take as short as 2 months, but it can be longer. All right. So that's something to take into consideration. So once you do that, your application is basically in the hands of the Department of Education. And as I said, they would reach out to you. Now, as I mentioned earlier, even if you're not an international teacher, you need a teaching license to teach in the United States. There's something in this video for you. There's something that they call the alternative route. And in the alternative route, if you have a bachelor's degree that's not in education, you can still get a teaching license in the United States. Hello, by business. You can still get a teaching license in the United States. You will still need to go on their website, the Department of Education website, or the body that does the state license in that state, and put your application in. The alternative route, they will tell you what are the options that they are offering. For example, in Georgia, some school districts have their own alternative classrooms or courses that you should do, but once you are offered a job, they can allow you to get what do you call that license? Somebody said in the comment section, Diane, that it's a temporary license basically to allow you to work until you complete that course. And when you complete the courses or course, then you'll get your regular teaching license. Okay, so they will offer you that license until you are finished. So if you are an American or if you have permanent residency in the United States and you need a teaching license, but your bachelor's degree is not in education, you can check out also the alternative route that the state you're interested in offers. It's called provisional. I remember a provisional license. You can be offered a provisional license where you can work, and most states will allow you to work on a provisional license for up to 3 years until you finish the course or courses that you need to get your regular license that teachers that are certified with a bachelor's education has. All right, I am a French teacher and I have a bachelor's in water management and treatment. I want to become a teacher in the USA. So by business, you will definitely need to research school districts that are interested in your area. You say you're a French teacher, but your bachelor's is in water management and treatment. So that's not a education degree. So that's something you will definitely need to do some more research on. I should mention also that if you need one-on-one guidance, I can provide one-on-one guidance through supremacyconnect.com. So if that's something you'd like, if there's something you believe you're not clear on, you need more guidance on, you can sign up through my website, that's supremacyconnect.com, to get a one-on-one consultancy, or you can sign up for a 1 year subscription where I can work with you for a year or until you get a job. So check out my website at supremacyconnect.com. Dan, if you can put that in the comment section for me, I would appreciate it. But guys, those are on Facebook, those are on YouTube, those are on TikTok or IG. I'm only seeing one like. So you're basically telling me I'm wasting my time tonight. I'm sitting right here trying to provide you with some invaluable information, and nobody's trying to sweeten or encourage me to provide this information. Guys, they say encouragement sweeten a labor. Go ahead and encourage me. Give me some encouragement. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Something, please. Remember, it's free for you to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you're watching this video for the watching this platform for the first time, I'm sorry, I did not introduce myself earlier. My name is Dr. Britton, and I provide on my platforms information on how you can get a teaching job in the United States. So if you are new, if you are on TikTok, you need to hop over to YouTube where there's a lot of information. So many people have just watched my videos and gotten teaching job in the United States. So guys, subscribe if you've not subscribed as yet. Turn your notification bells on and don't forget to share with somebody you know who may be interested in getting a teaching job in the United States. All right. So in conclusion, obtaining a license in the United States, as I mentioned earlier, is a multi-step process that varies from state to state. Every state have their own requirements. So you have to familiarize yourself with the state you're interested in, follow the necessary steps, embark on the rewarding career in education if that's what you need. All right. So I'm going to stay for a while for maybe a few questions if you have questions, and then we will be off. All right. So yes, I'm still only seeing one live. Let me look if there's any comment or question on IG. I know somebody was telling me yesterday that she was asking a lot of questions on IG and I did not respond. So I'm saying this now. I'm looking on IG. I don't see any questions. I don't see any comments. So I did check in tonight. All right. I don't see any on TikTok either. I don't see any questions on YouTube. So what you should be looking out for next, as I said earlier in my video that I shared that talk about which state you need a teaching job in, I asked people to put in the comment section the state they are interested in. I will be going, I did go already, and I checked off the states that people were interested in, and I will be doing videos on these states one by one. So if you want to hear about a specific state, you need to go watch that video, put your comment there, and be on the lookout for the other series of videos that will be coming that is going to be specifically looking on a specific state where I'll take you through the step-by-step process. You might not get everything in a video, but I'll take you, for example, on the Department of State website. I'll show you the requirements. I'll show you if you are living in the United States, you're an American citizen, where you would apply, or the requirements for you. If you are living out of state, the requirements for you, and things like that. So if you want that information, how much do I have to pay for the license? Morrison, every state has their own fee. So if you go on their website, whatever state you're interested in, every state has their own fee. I know for Georgia, for the reciprocity, it was like $20.50 for that license. Anybody else in the chat, if you have a license, you can put in the comment section how much you paid for your teaching license. So every state is different. I know Texas, their teaching license is very expensive. I think it was over $100 to get a license in Texas. So every state has their own fee. I want to know if I have a chance to become a teacher in the United States. Bob Business, I really cannot tell you outright right here if you have a chance, because I really don't know your educational background and everything. So you may want to schedule a consultation, or you can watch more videos on my channel to see some of the things. I do have a video that says kickstart your teaching career in the US, where I gave you step-by-step guidance and information on that. So check out my YouTube channel, Kicking with Dr. Britton. All right. So guys, you're welcome, Morrison. I see no more questions. So if that's it, again, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, share this video with somebody who might need it, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Can I reciprocate a Washington International license with Texas? Fully Kwan. You would definitely need to go on Texas website and find out, or you can contact them to get that information, but I cannot tell you offhand right now. But as I mentioned earlier, some states accept reciprocity, some don't. So that's something you'd have to find out. Do Georgia accept? Yes, Georgia accept praxis, but listen how. If you are in a state, Aziz, for example, if you are in South Carolina and you pass the praxis in South Carolina, you have a teaching license in South Carolina, whether it be an international license or a regular South Carolina license, you can reciprocate that South Carolina license to Georgia. Good question. But fully, as I said, not off my head, but definitely you can reach out and get some more information. Any coaches or sources for definitely, if you need sources for praxis study, I should mention this earlier, you can use study.com. With study.com, you can also get a 20% discount if you use my code. My code is also, it's not a code, sorry. They stop using code. It's a link. So if you are going to be doing any of the teaching licensure exams, whether it's the praxis, the GACE, the TechSex, so many different exams, you can use study.com as one of your resource to study. And if you use my link that's in the description below, you can get a 20% off your first month. Your consultation is very expensive for us who live. Okay, my business. So that's why I do this. I know a lot of people in Africa are interested in this consultation. And so what I do is I have a package deal. So if you look at the package deal where a maximum of 10 people can sign up for it, each person will pay like $30. So find some teachers who are interested and want to get this information. I really want about a one-on-one. If you have a listen, if you get a group of teachers, and it can be a maximum of 10, it don't have to be 10. So find some of your teacher friends who are interested, sign up for that deal, and I can arrange where I make sure that I'm giving all of you that on that session that individual time that you need. Okay, I'll do that for you. All right. I'm having a North Carolina international license, passed my praxis for math. Good. All right. Yeah. So if you want to go to Georgia, you should be able to do the reciprocity to Georgia, Aziz. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Is the provisional license the one that J1 teachers have? Though J1 teachers have international license. The provisional license is different. Let me tell you when a J1 teacher gets a provisional license. If a J1 teacher just completes her or his 5 years teaching, they might get in South Carolina, I can speak of, they might get an initial license. That initial license, you basically cannot add anything to it until after 3 years teaching on that initial license, when you can upgrade it to a regular license that all teachers in South Carolina has. So it's kind of different when you're an international teacher. So there's a lot a lot to consider. But as I said, if you need any information, you can always, yes, my business, you can always get a one-on-one consultation through supremacyconnect.com. Also, should I not say, how could I not say this? There's a Telegram group that was created by my YouTube subscribers where we have other teachers from different countries who are interested in teaching jobs in the United States. They share information among each other and learn from each other and stuff like that. You can join that Telegram group as well. The link is also in the description below on this live that's on YouTube. One more time, I'm checking on IG. There's no comment, no questions. So, guys, that's it. We're going to end this live. Have a very awesome night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.